Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Syukri. Thank you for watching my video. In this video, for this time, I will present my presentation for the project 1 of the cross-cultural communication. And for the material that I took, there are two. The intercultural communication, of course, and then the ensuring business success through communication. And next we're going to move on to the case study. And now let's start. Okay, here we are for the first slide. I will explain or tell you the expert that I choose. First is Dr. Geert Hofstede, 1928 till 2020. He was a Dutch social psychologist known for his pioneering research on national and organizational cultures. He developed the influential of the Hofstede cultural dimension theory that he made or he searched, which identifies key cultural differences that affect how people interact in the workplace and society. And next, there is the name Stella Ting-Tui, PhD, is the professor of human communication, studies at California State University, Fullerton, CSUF. Her teaching passions include intercultural communication theory and training and interpersonal conflict management. She is the author or editor of 17 scholarly books, 2 instructional manuals, 2 interactive student resource guides, and more than 120 articles and chapters. So that are 2 experts that I took for this material research, and we're going to first, what is intercultural communication? Intercultural communication refers to the process of exchanging information between individuals or groups from different cultural backgrounds. It means understanding how communication styles, perceptions, and behaviors are influenced by cultural values, beliefs, norms, and practices. People are capable of dealing cultural differences from relationship and work together across cultural boundaries when they have effective intercultural communication. And for this slide, as you can see, there are a picture that is the book that made from Stella Ting-Tui and her partner, Liv C. Chang. The title is Understanding Intercultural Communication. The significance of intercultural communication is first, globalization. As a business expands internationally, intercultural communication becomes crucial for negotiations, marketing, and management. Next to the migration, increased immigration leads to multicultural communication, where understanding different cultural perspectives is essential for social cohesion. And the conflict resolution, recognizing cultural differences can prevent misunderstanding and resolve conflicts effectively. And now for this slide, if before we choose the expert from the Ting-Tui, and now this is the Geert Hofstede's idea that why it matters in a globalized world. Geert Hofstede's cultural dimension theory explained that cultural values influence business behavior by providing a framework to compare national cultures across 6 dimensions. First, power distance, individualism versus collectivism, masculinity versus femininity, uncertainty, avoidance, long-term versus short-term orientation, and indulgence versus restraint. As you can see the picture, that is the image of the 6th theory that idea from the Geert Hofstede. So in the 3 next slide, I will give the example of each from 6 theory that found from Geert Hofstede. First is power distance. The example is employees in Indonesia frequently wait for direct instruction from their managers before taking action. It is seen as a respectful of authority. In contrast, Sweden has low power distance, allowing employees to challenge ideas and provide feedback to their boss. The impact is in a global company, Indonesian staff might see open. Number two, individualism versus collectivism. The example is in the United States, employees are rewarded for individual performance, like Employee of the Month. But in Japan, success is seen as a team effort, and public praise of one person may be uncomfortable. So the impact is Japan project might face tension when Americans expect personal credit, but Japanese members prioritize group harmony. And now to the number three, the masculinity versus femininity. What is the example? In Japan, the culture values achievement, hard work, and competitiveness. That is the masculine traits. But in Denmark, work-life balance and cooperation and prioritized a feminine culture. So the impact is a Japanese manager might expect employees to stay late for success, while Danish employees value living on time for family life. The number four, uncertainty avoidance. What is the example? This is from Germany that has high uncertainty avoidance, that people prefer detailed planning, clear rules, and functionally. But for the Singapore, with low uncertainty avoidance, is more flexible and open to risk or change. What the impact? A German team may insist on precise contracts before starting, while a Singaporean team moves forward with general agreements. Number five is long-term versus short-term orientation. The example is China focuses on long-term goals, saving, and preference. Companies plan for decades ahead. The United States often focuses on short-term success, such as quarterly profits or quick results. The impact: a Chinese investor might think in 10 years horizons, while an American partner looks for returns within 1 until 2 years. Number six, the indulgence and restraint. Example, Germany has high uncertainty avoidance, that people prefer detailed planning, clear rules, and functionally, like the example before. Singaporean with low uncertainty avoidance is more flexible and more open to risk or change. The impact: a German team may insist on prices contracts before starting, while a Singaporean team move forward with general agreements. And now we move ahead to the challenges in cultural communication. What they are: the language barriers, of course, because the difference in language proficiency and idiomatic expression can cause misunderstandings. And next is the cultural assumptions. Assuming one's cultural norms are universal leads to misinterpretation. That will always happen. Non-verbal miscommunication, that from the gestures, facial expression, and body language having vary across cultures. Ethnocentrism, viewing one's culture as superior, hampers open-minded interactions. That's all from the intercultural communication definition, and we're going to the conclusion is what understanding intercultural communication is essential for navigating our interconnected world. Her theories on face work, intercultural sensitivity, and identity management provide valuable frameworks and individuals and organizations alike. By developing awareness, skills, and respect for cultural differences, we can foster more effective, respectful, and enriching intercultural interactions. That embracing cultural diversity not only enhances personal growth but also contributes to harmonious global communities. And now we're going to move forward to the ensuring business success through communication. So, how effective communication contributes to business success? The effective communication aligns teams, speeds decision making, and increases organizational influences. It is not just a soft skill, but a business critical capability. HBR or Harvard Business Reviews explains that leaders who master communication can persuade and align people behind complex initiatives. Poor communication wastes effort and slows execution. That's what the HBR told. The communication is the measurable business impact. This is improved information sharing and collaboration can raise productivity of interaction workers by 20 to 25%. McKinsey estimate this. McKinsey is the name of a global management consulting firm, McKinsey and Company, founded in 1926 by James O. McKinsey. McKinsey research on the social economy and internal collaboration shows that better communication tools and norms create measurable productivity gains and faster decisions cycles. So this is the quotation that I took from the McKinsey company from the website. The most powerful application of social technologies in the global economy are largely untapped. By using social technologies, companies can raise the productivity of knowledge workers by 20 to 25%. And as you can see, there's a picture that I took from the website Google Rework, that role of teamwork and psychological safety. That Google's project Aristotle found that psychological safety, or a communication climate where people can speak up, was the top predictor of team effectiveness. Project Aristotle studied 118 teams and concluded that how team members interact, especially whether they feel safe to voice ideas or concerns, matters more than who is on the team. Number one, there is psychological safety. The team members feel safe to take risks and be vulnerable in front of each other. Number two, dependability. Team members get things done on time and meet Google's high bar for excellence. Number three, structure and clarity. Teams members have clear roles, plans, and goals. Number four, meaning. Work is personally important to team members. And the last is impact. Of course, team members think their work matters and creates change. And now for the case that I took from Uber case, the culture and the reputation. The Susan Flower that she has doing the report of this problem that she wrote is in 2017. Susan Flower revealed systemic problems in Uber's workplace communication and HR responses. The resulting scandal led to leadership change and reputational damage. This shows how internal communication and failure to address employee reports can become a public crisis that harms growth and trust. And this is the slide of the recommendation. The practical recommendation that what business leaders should do: establish clear communication norms, like meeting rules, escalation paths. This is told by HBR, the Harvard Business Reviews. Invest in psychological safety and team norms. Encourage speaking up by Google's Project Aristotle. Provide cultural awareness training for international team and localized messaging by McKinsey Company consultant firm. These actions are supported by HBR, Google's Project Aristotle, and investigation into organizational failure. It shows the importance of structure, the culture, and the leadership of the modeling. And now for the case study. Number one, cultural barriers. This is the problem of Indonesia, Germany, and Japan. The scenario is a team of employees from Indonesia, Germany, and Japan are working together on a joint technology project. During meetings, the German manager often gives the direct feedback. The Japanese members remain silent when they disagree, and the Indonesian team tries to avoid confrontation to be in harmony. After several weeks, communication starts to break down, deadlines are missed, and there is a misunderstanding occur. So the theory is relevant that from the case study 1, this the theory from Hofstede's cultural dimension theory, individualism versus collectivism, that the Germany is individualist like their feedback, but otherwise Indonesia and Japan is the collectivist or the value harmony. The power distance that Indonesia and Japan higher, like in respect hierarchy, avoid confrontation, and uncertainty avoidance that happen in Japan high, avoid ambiguity, silence when unsure. And there another expert is Edward Hall's high versus low context communication. The Germany is having the low context like direct and explicit communication. Japan and Indonesia is the high context indirect, rely on shared understanding and non-verbal cues. And now for case number 2, cross-cultural communication for business. The scenario, an Indonesian furniture company, Tropical Craft, is expanding to the European market. The company's marketing team creates advertisements emphasizing family values and community spirit. However, the campaign received little attention from European audience, who views the ads as overly emotional and lacking professionalism. So what the theory that relevant is the cultural value frameworks by Hofstede plus Hall. Asian cultures, Indonesia is the collectivism and high context, emphasize emotion, family, belonging. But in European cultures, individualism and low context, less from value professionalism, clarity and factual advertising. The cross-cultural marketing studies is research by Meriki di Moik 2019 shows collectivist cultural response to emotional family-centered ads, while individualist cultures prefer rational, product-focused messages. And now for the case number 3, what happened is non-verbal misinterpretation that from US and Arab client in Dubai. The scenario during a business negotiation between a US company and an Arab client in Dubai, the American representative repeatedly shakes his watch and maintains a wide personal distance. The Arab client interprets this behavior as impatient and disrespect, leading to a tense atmosphere and failed negotiation. What is the relevant to the theories from case number 3 that I took from Hall's Proximus theory, 1966, defines personal space and distance zones, varying by culture. Arabs, close contact culture, like closeness, it seems like trust, but American low contact culture, distance, respect. Chronomics, time orientation, the US monochronic time, it seems like linear, punctual. Arab culture, polychronic time, it seems like flexible, relationship oriented. Nonverbal behavior research by Burgoon 1994 and Think to Me 1999, misinterpretation of gestures, gaze, or time signals, perceived disrespect or impatience, trust breakdown. Okay, that's all for all my slides for this cross-cultural communication project 1. Thank you for Sir Shukri for watch this video. And as I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.